Hello, this is Berzinsky for Beardbrand Alliance. I must ask you a question. I must ask you a question. Is it time to curl the mustache? So it's actually been quite a while. It's got to be 2.5 months since I've actually styled my mustache into a handlebar shape. Those pictures that I post where I have a significant handlebar, and I actually made Eric's top 10 list of the best facial hairs. So thanks, Eric. I might have placed me up a little higher, but I'm okay. I made the list. Just happy about that. But for the past couple of months, I've not had a handlebar mustache. And part of that had to do with the cut on my beard and mustache that Jake gave me a couple of months ago, and where he took my mustache up significantly. When I told him to cut my mustache, I said, don't worry about the curls. We're not going to cut them off specifically, but comb them down into the beard and cut the beard accordingly. And so these hairs have not really been trimmed since then, and they were probably slightly longer than what was in the middle anyhow. People ask me all the time, when can I start having a handlebar mustache? And there's a couple things that play into that. How long is the hair, and how big do you want the curls? You can wear a handlebar at almost any point. As soon as the hair is basically longer than the length of your lip, slightly longer to that, and even if it's not, you can pull the hair off to the side and kind of sweep it into a curl. A small curl. If you want big curls, it really has to do with how long you're going to let it grow. Hair growing 1/2 inch a month, and so if you want a significant curl, plan accordingly. So if, say, you want a 2-inch curl here, you're going to have to wait for the hair to grow 2 inches from the bottom of your lip typically, which is about 4 months. So just like your beard growing 1/2 inch a month, mustache is growing similar, and you got to give it some time. This is the first time I'm doing this. I've been taking somewhat inventory of it to see how much hair I have here, and I think it's time to do it. So I'm going to show you an example using Beardbrand mustache wax on how I style what will be a short handlebar. And this will go back to probably the first picture that I posted on Instagram almost 7 years ago or 8 years ago, my first handlebar mustache. And I had been growing out a beard, and I had let it grow, and then I cut it off. I trimmed up the lip and left the curls and swept them out to the sides. That time I was using probably hairspray and some other hair products on my mustache to get it to curl, which I did for a while until I discovered Beardbrand, until I discovered some of their products. So let's get started. I'm going to show you what I do. So what I'm going to do is just wet the curl, the hair that curls. Now typically you would be taking mustache hair, so from the corner of your mouth and up would be the mustache. It's just that hair. Now for a fuller mustache and some types of mustache, you can actually engage more of the beard into that. That doesn't play in some of the competitions, but for day-to-day purposes, go ahead, grab some beard hair near the corners of your mouth as they trail down into the horseshoe shape of a mustache, and engage those into the mustache for a thicker presentation. So I'm going to do this the same way I normally would. I'm going to take my round brush, and actually I'm going to start by using the small end of the comb and a hair dryer and applying some heat, and then with the heat adding the curl to it. Here we go. Definitely have more hair on this side. So what I'm doing is I'm using this comb to flick the hair up, holding it up, heating it, hitting the cold button, cooling it down and then kind of pulling it up and out. What I'm going to do is with that formed curl, I'm going to hit it with the hairdryer again, heat it up and really shape it into the curl, just like this. Hold it, heat it up, cool it off. So that curl looks bigger than I thought it was going to look. I don't think it's as bigger than this side, so let's try it on this side. I'm going to heat this up again. "95% of mustache presentation really has to do with prep time, even before you get to the wax. So a lot of guys, if you're wearing a loose walrus type, if you are just kind of combing it out and from playing with it, it generally takes shape. That's one thing. But if you actually want real handlebars, I think you got to use heat. It's pretty unlikely that your hair is naturally growing this way. It's pretty unlikely that your hair is straight there. You might have some curl in your hair. It's pretty unlikely that it's going to stay even if those two things fall in line. So adding heat will allow you to achieve the style, and then what you're going to do is add the wax, which is going to enable it to hold it much, much longer. So let's break out the wax. Taking the mustache wax, I'm using Temple Smoke in the gold line. No surprise, favorite fragrance. And I'm going to take my thumb and I'm actually going to warm up the wax. Taking that finger that I warmed the wax up with and I'm placing it behind the mustache curl and kind of applying the wax in between. Watch, don't pull too hard. If you feel like you're putting pressure to the point where it's pulling the hair, you don't want to do that. We don't want to lose mustache hairs. It takes a while for the hair to get this long. It takes a while for the hairs to get to the points. So you don't want to lose a hair there. I'm going to apply some mustache wax on the side here, and generally overall, but mostly on the side to get that to go down, which will make the curl more extreme looking. Taking my comb, so there we go. That's a real mustache. This looks a little bigger than I even thought it was going to look. It looks like a fairly large handlebar mustache. So in reality, I think my hair could be almost a half an inch longer or shorter and still have the appearance, or even shorter than that, of a handlebar. So these curls, this hair doesn't have to be all that long to give the impression of a handlebar. Now that looks hip. Got the beanie, got the beard, got the long hair. And now we got the handlebar mustache. So give it a try. You can check out Beardbrand's website and see all of the different fragrances in the silver line and then the gold line. We have the gold line fragrances here. You can do what I do. Just put it on your mustache as a way to smell the fragrance. A lot of Beardbrand fragrances aren't overpowering, and so if you want to smell it a little more yourself, putting it right on your mustache is a great thing to do. So I hope that helps and encourages you. Some guys in quarantine have been growing those beards. We just saw recently the 6-month beards. Mustaches at that length are definitely capable of turning them into handlebars, and quite impressive handlebars. So comment below and tell us if you are ready to curl up and if you are styling your mustache in a handlebar. Looking forward to reading your comments as always.
Whoever knew sweat could smell so good? I did, because I've been using Beardbrand's new deodorant. Grab it at beardbrand.com.